Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Mimo Prince. Welcome back to another video with me. If you're new here, welcome and have a seat. Today we are going to be discussing a very important topic. If you want healthy natural hair, trimming your ends. I know we all hate to hear about it, but this is the honest truth. We're going to be discussing the importance of trimming your ends, the tools you need for that, how often you should be doing it, and how you should go about trimming your ends. So if this is something you are interested in, which you should be if you want long healthy hair, keep watching. Before we get into the video, please subscribe if you're not yet subscribed to me and click on the notification bell icon so when I post a new video, you'll be notified. And also follow me on Instagram where I share stuff that I don't necessarily share here. Alright, before we get into how to trim your ends, let's discuss why you should trim your ends. So it's so important, and I guess you hear this all the time, that trimming your ends is great for a healthy hair. But we are so attached to our hair as natural. We want to grow our hair, so the thought of cutting the hair is so overwhelming. But the thing is, you can't have healthy hair without trimming your ends. Your ends are the oldest part of your hair and they can get matted, especially when you don't have a consistent hair care routine. So now the reason why you should be trimming your ends is because of split ends and single strand knots. We all hate them, and I'm sure you've noticed them in your hair. Unfortunately, they are kind of unavoidable. They always happen over time, especially with the wear and tear of our hair. So you can't entirely prevent them, but proper care of your hair, you can reduce the amount of split ends and knots you get in your hair. But once you get them, they need to go. You need to cut it. So now let's talk about the tools you need to trim or cut your hair. So you have to use a pair of sharp scissors or sharp shears to cut your hair, and that scissors or shears you're going to be using, you're not going to use it on any other thing. You're not going to use it to cut paper. It's just for your hair alone. If not, you're going to have more split ends if you use your shears to cut something else, and you don't want that. So how do you know you need a trim? So like I said earlier on, if you have split ends and your ends are really very rough, you have knots, your hair is always matted and breaking, difficult to detangle, then sis, you need a trim. You need to cut it. If you run your fingers through your hair from your roots to your ends, and you can tell the difference when you get to the ends, that's an indication that you need to trim your hair. And I'm not saying that you should be obsessed with your ends. I'm not saying that you should always look for knots in your hair, because you're always going to find knots in your hair. But now the difference is when you have an increasing amount of knots and split ends in your hair, then you need to cut it. You need to let it go. I don't know why my voice is kind of cracky, but let's just overlook that. So now let's get into how to trim your ends. There are two different methods I know you can use in trimming your ends. The first method is putting your hair in twist and looking for the split ends. You can see how my ends are stringing. They have to go. I make sure my hair is thoroughly detangled and I put them in twist. So once you put your hair into a twist, you run your fingers up and down the twist. You'll definitely be able to tell where your split end starts. You'll be able to tell that your hair is more rougher at the end. So I'll be using this pair of tiny scissors that I have. I've never used it before on anything, so I couldn't find shears, but I know this will do. So the last time I trimmed my hair was 6 months ago, and I'm at that again because I'm not attached to dead ends. They just have to go. So this is the second method where you pull your hair through your finger. I feel like this method gives less control on how much hair you should be cutting, especially when your hair is in a stringed state. When you get a fresh trim, your hair is gonna be looking like butter. Like you can run your fingers through your hair, no matting, no tangles. It's like a breath of fresh air. So when you're done trimming, I'll recommend you put your hair into a twist like I'm doing. So all done, you can see my ends are looking really very good. So if you watched my last video where I did my wash and go, you noticed that my hair was uneven in length, and I told you guys in that video that I'm going to be getting a trim or a haircut. So after trimming my hair, I'll be going in to, make my hair even. Yeah, I want to make my hair one length, like the back section one length, the front section one length. I know this is going to be a little setback on my hair length because we all love the length, but presently I want the health over the length. So yeah, my hair grows and it's going to grow back, so I'm not really very bothered about that part of it. So now let's talk about how often should you trim your hair. Most people say 3 to 4 months, but then again I feel like I really don't agree with that, because if you should cut or trim your hair every 3 to 4 months, how are you gonna retain all those lengths you've been growing out? So for me, I trim my hair twice a year. Yeah, that is every 6 months. So if you want to trim your hair every 6 months, when you run your fingers through every 6 months, you'll be able to tell that, oh, your ends are already rough, and that will be a good timing for you to trim your hair and retain the length that you want. Tell me what you see in me. Gotta be something different. You must be made for me. Patience is everything. In and out, in and out, in and out. Arguing, trifling, difficult. Let more. I don't know why you love me. So well, that's all I have for you. I hope you guys learned something out of this video, especially the importance of trimming your ends and how often you should trim your ends. If this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have any more questions. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Wait, please give me a thumbs up, for real. I'm serious. Give me a thumbs up because my hair is beautiful. Okay, bye.